ॐ वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
अथ पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः।
अथ पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्लोका नंबर 5। निर्मानमोहाजितसङ्गदोषा अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः
निर्माणमोहाजितसङ्गदोषा अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः
द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ताः सुखदुःखसंज्ञैर्गच्छन्त्यमूढाः पदमव्ययम् तत्
द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ताः सुखदुःखसंज्ञैर्गच्छन्त्यमूढाः पदमव्ययम् तत्
न तद्भासयते सूर्यो न शाङ्को न पावकः
न तद्भास्यते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः
यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम।
यद्गत्वा
यद्गत्वा
न
न
निवर्तन्ते
तन्ते
तद्धाम
तद्धाम
परमं
परमं
मम।
मम।
ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूतः सनातनः।
ममैवांशो
ममैवांशो जीवलोके
जीवलोके
जीवभूतः
जीवभूतः
सनातनः।
सनातनः।
मनःषष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति।
मनःषष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि
मनःषष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि
प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति।
शरीरं यदवाप्नोति यच्चाप्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः।
शरीरं
शरीरं
यदवाप्नोति
यद्वाप्नोति यच्चाप्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः।
यच्चाप्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः।
गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात्।
गृहीत्वैतानि
गृहीत्वैतानि
संयाति
संयाति
वायुर्गन्धानि
वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात्।
वाशयात्।
Up to that we have seen. तत्पदं परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः इति भगवता उक्तम्। यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं पदम्। तत्पदं परिमार्गितव्यम् अन्वेष्टव्यम्। तत्पदं तत्पदं विष्णुपदं ब्रह्मपदं के गच्छन्ति के प्राप्नुवन्ति के प्राप्नुवन्ति तत्पदम्. That is said in the Shloka number 5. In this Shloka gives the adhikaritvam, one who has got adhikari, the status of being an adhikari. Yasya adhikaritvam asti ye adhikarinah te prapnuvanti ke te nirmana mogaha manaha ityukte abhimanaha. We have seen ahankaraha garvaha, mogaha is brahmaha, viparyayaha brahmaha. Therefore manascha mogascha tau nirgato yebhyaha te nirmana mogaha, that is mana moha ragitaha. The person, important point, person must be free from the pride, false pride and delusion. Nirmana mohaha uchita sangadoshaha. Sangadoshaha, sangaha asakti saktihi. Sahayava doshaha. Sangaha is dosha only. Therefore ragadi dosha hetutvat. Jitaha. Sangadoshaha yehi jitaha. Sangha varjitaha. The person, people who are free from the attachment, which is a dosha. Adhyatma nityaha, atmani nityaha, atmani nityatma nishtaha ityartaha. Adhyatma nityaha, nityatma nishtaha, one, those always dwell in this atma. That is not possible without shravanam. So adhyatma nitya implies having gained adhikaritvam through karma yoga, etc. That person now, Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam. Always Nididhyasanam. It is Adhyatma Nityaha. Dwelling in the Atma always. That is Nididhyasanam. Therefore, it implies Shravanam, Mananam. And Vinivritta Kamaha, all kamas have, they have turned away from all kamas. Therefore, Sannyasinaha, that Sannyasa Buddhi. Vinivrittaha, Visheshana Nivrittaha, Sarve Kamaha, Bhogya Padarthaha, Padartha Abhilashaha. All the Abhilashas have gone from those people. Therefore, Sarva Kamana Rahitaha, Sukha Dukkha Sanyegi, Sukha Dukkha Sanyegi, Dvandvaigi, Vimuktaha, They are free from Sukha Dukkha Sanyeki Dvandvehi Vimuktaha, free from the pairs of opposite Sukha Dukkha, etc. Vimuktaha. And they Gachanti. Kutra Gachanti. They are Amudaha. They are free from delusion. They are free from the Viparita Jnanam. Atasmin Tad Buddhihi Nasti Tesham. Amudaha. Amudaha Binnarte Nanj. They are different from Mudaha. Nanj can be seen in Sanskritam. Six meanings you can use. Binnarte Nanj here. Amudaha Tat Padam and Tat Padam Brahmakyam Paramam Padam, and it is Avyayam Vyaya Ragitaha. Vyayaha means Vinashaha. Vinasha Ragitam Nityam Nirvikaram Tat Padam Brahmakyam Padam Gachanti Praptavanti Te. So Tat Padam Te Gachanti. And Tat Padam, that Yat Padam Purva Muktam Tat Padam Brahmakyam Padam Suryaha Nabhasayate. Suryaha Sarva Abhabhasana Shakti Adityah na bhasayate na bhasayati na deepayati na prakashayati na shashankaha api chandramaha api na prakashayati pavakaha agnihi api na prakashayati. Why? Because tesham api bhasana tadbhasana samarthya abhavat. They don't have in fact the samarthyam to shine by themselves. They themselves shine after this Brahma. Therefore, na pavakaha, na shashankaha, na suryaha. Na tatra suryo bhatira chandratharakam. Nema vidyuto bhanti. Kuto yam agnihi. It's a beautiful prayer, Vedika prayer. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Tasya bhasa sarvam vibhati. Brahmanaha bhasa idam sarvam vibhati. Therefore, katam tat bhasayati. Na. Therefore, Suryadini, Suryaha, Chandraha, Pavakaha, Ityadini, Bhasyani. Kintu Bhasakam Kaha Kim Param Brahma. Tasyapi Bhasakam Asti Param Brahma. Suryadinam api Bhasakatvam. Surya, etc., they enjoy the status of Bhasaka. That Bhasana Shakti na Swataha Vidyate. That is, Teshamapi Bhasakam Brahma Eva. So, Tat Yat Brahmakyam Paramam Padam Gatva, having gone. Gatva Prapya. Prapya is Katam Prapya Kutapi Gantamyamba na Iha Eva Jnanena Prapya Gatva na Nivartante Punaravartante Punaragamanam Kutaha na Bhavati Samsaraya Punaha na Agachanti Te. Therefore Punaha na Nivartante Tad Dhamam Tat Paramam Dhamam Utkrishtam Dhama it is Dhama Mama Dhama Mama Ishvarasya Dhama, it is Upacharika Shashti. The Dhama is Ishvara. Prapya na nivartante punaha na agachanti tesham punarjanma na nasti. Tamevamsho jivaloke. Visvavisa jivaloke jivabhutaha sanatanaha ayam jivatma mama eva amshaha. This jivatma is amsha of me. This is amsha is very problematic, this word amsha. Amsha is not aspect, it is an expression. That is the right translation. The example also that Mandaka Upanishad, the example, Yatasudiptat Pavakat Vispulingaha. The same shloka interpreted by Dvaitins in a different way. That Pavakaha Sudiptat Pavakat Vispulingaha Prabhavante. But Vishpulinga, that sparks, and Pavaka, are they different? They are Sarupaha. They are same. In essence, they are heat alone, Agni alone. But it appears as though it is different because of Upadhi Beda. Similarly, Jiva also, Mama Amshaha means Mama Swarupaha. Amsha it is Swarupaha. Because of Upadhi Beda, appears it is as though different. It is as though, otherwise, Sanatanaha, how do you see? All these Vishishta, the Dvaitins and pickup, Jiva is Sanatana and Ishvara also. Therefore, Jiva is a part of the Ishvara. But it is not like that. Because of Purva and Para, the discussion we know. Everywhere Jiva Brahma Aikyam is talked about, then suddenly how will it become Dvaitam? Even if it is Dvaitam, Dvaitam doesn't require any pramana because it is Anubhava Siddhihi. Loke Asmakam Anubhavaha eva Dvaitanubhavaha eva asti. Anubhava Siddhihi. Anubhava Siddhehe Ramanam na avashyakam. That which is already experienced, for that what pramana is required. Doesn't generate any new knowledge. Arthavat Anadhigata Abhadita Arthavata Jnana Janakam Pramanam. What new knowledge it produces. So therefore, it is not. And we saw further the second line of this shloka and the first line of the following shloka should be connected. And the word Ishvaraha, the shloka is very important. Ishvaraha is Shariram Yadavapnoti Yachapyutkramati Ishvaraha. Ishvaraha, in the language of Gita, we can say it is Kshetrajna, 13th chapter. Kshetrajnaha, it is Jivatma. Even though the word Ishvara is used, it is Jivatma. We have to take the meaning of the word Ishvaraha to be Jivatma Kshetrajnaha ityartaha. Sharira Indriya Swami. Because here we are talking about the Shariram. Shariram Yada Avapnoti. Purvasmat Sharirat Anyata Shariram Avapnoti Prapnoti. From the previous Shariram, new Shariram it gains. Prapnoti Grindati. Kaha Ishvaraha. How Ishvara Sarvajnaha Sarvashaktiman can take one Shariram to another Shariram? That is not possible. Therefore, we have to apply Mimamsa and take the meaning of the word Ishvara to be Kshetrajnaha. Jiva is not different from Ishvara. The Jiva is the same Brahma Chaitanyam eva conditioned by the Yashti Upadhi. Therefore, to call the Jiva as Ishvara is fine. Then Aikyam, what is then the name? Therefore, Jivaha is, Ishvaraha is Jivaha, Kshetrajnaha ityartaha. The Jivatma, you can take Jivatma, Kshetrajna, Atma, and Upagita Chaitanyam, Ishvaraha, Jivatma, Jivaha. But another problem also is that Ishvaraha, if you take as Kshetrajna, that is Upagita Chaitanyam, that is Atma, conditioned by the Vishti Shariram, that is Jivaha. So, Jivatma, not Ajnani Jivatma, Ajnani Jivatma. Because Sharir Abhimanam is there. Therefore Jivaha, Samsari Jivaha. So Ishvaraha is Samsari Jivaha. Indriya, that Sharira Indriya Swami. Shariram, Yada Avapnoti, Nutana Shariram Avapnoti Grindati. Nutana Shariram Apnoti means it has to give up the previous Shariram. Therefore Utkramati, Echapyut Kramati. Sharirat, Asmat Sharirat, Nishkramati, Utkramati. Utkramati ityukte Bagigi Niryati Gachati. Kimartam Sharirantara Graganartam Irgachati Bagigi Gachati. to obtain a new shariram, this Ishvaraha, this Jivaha, the samsari Jivaha, because Jnani Jivaha cannot travel. Jnani is Muktaha. So for samsari Jivaha, is Ishvara because he is the Swami of the Sharira Indriya. The body mentions complex. Therefore, Saha, Anya Sharira Graganartham, Sharirantara Graganartham, Nirgachati, Utkramati. So when it goes away, then what does it do? Manashashtani Indriyani, Manaha, Shashtani Indriyani, Manaha plus Jnana Indriyani, Pancha Jnana Indriyani. We can include Karma Indriyani also. It is only an Upalakshana. Therefore, all this Sukshma. So therefore, Sukshma Shariram Ityartaha. Shashtani Indriyani is Sukshma Shariram. So Sukshma Shariram. So Manaha, Pancha Jnana Indriyani, Pancha Kamendriyani, Pancha Pranaha, Buddhischayaka, Manaschayakam, all this constitutes what is this Sukshma Shariram. Therefore, Sukshma Shariram, Manashashtani Indriyani. So Jnanendriyani, Karmendriyani also we can include all. Pancha Pranaha, etc. So therefore, all this. Gritva, and these are in the Prakriti, that is in the Shariram, Prakriti Sthani, Ethani, Grihitva. And beautiful example is given. Vayur Gandhani Vashayat. The Drishtanta is also Vayu is subtle. Compared to Agni and all, it's subtle. And Gandha, that is also subtle. Sukshma Shariram also is subtle. Therefore, Ashayat, Gandha Ashayat, Pushpanam, Gandhan, Gandha is Sukshma, therefore Sukshma Amshan, Girgitva, Yata Vayu, Sanyati, Gachati, Tadvat, this Jivaha, Ishvaraha, Asmat Sharirat Bhagi Gatva, Nutana Shariram, Prapnoti, Yata Vayu, Gandhan, Iva Ashayat, Tadvat. Iti, I think up to that we saw. Svayat Gandhani Vashayat. The next shloka we will see. And we can recollect in Panchadashi. In Panchadashi, we have seen the definition of these Sukha Sharira. I don't recall immediately, but something that came to my mind, strikes my mind. We saw that Sukshma Shariram, nicely the definition was given. I don't recall immediately. So it came, I was thinking about that parallelly. It didn't come to my mind immediately. Anyway, when it comes to my mind, I'll tell you. That's what it's remembering that the definition. Panchadashi is a beautiful text. So anyway, so now the next shloka, let us read. Okay. Shrotram chakshuspharshanancha rasanam ghranameva cha.
Shrotram chakshuspharshanam cha
रसनं घ्राणमेव च
घ्राणमेव च
Adhishtaya manaschayam vishayanupasevate.
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयानुपसेवते
विषयानुपसेवते.
Yes, I got that Panchadashi, that suddenly that came to my mind. That is, Jiva definition is given, that Ishvaraha, Jivaha, Utkramati. So the Jiva definition in Panchadashi, Dvaita Viveka Prakaranam 11th Shloka. Chaitanyam Yadadishtanam Lingadegascha Yaf Punaha Chichaya Lingadegasta Tat Sangho Jiva Uchyate. The beautiful definition. What is Jivaha? Chaitanyam, that is Adhishtanam. Chaitanyam is. Then Lingadegaha Sukma Shariram. Then Lingadegasta Chichaya, that Chidabhasa, Chaitanyasya Pratibimbaha, Chidabhasa. In fact, Chidabhasa is called Jivaha iti. That we saw. These three, that Sangaha, Etesham, Trayanam, Samugaha, Jivaha iti Uchyate. So therefore, Adhishtana Chaitanyam, that Linga Shariram, and Linga Degasta Chichaya, that is Chidabhasa, these three, they travel. Jivaha, Jiva only travels. That is Jiva definition, not Sukshma Shariram, Jiva definition. Sukshma Shariram already we know definition, Tattva Bodha. Fine. Now this shloka, Shotram Chakshusparshanancha Rasanam Granam So Manashashtani Indriyani Grihitva Sanyati, as said before. Now here, Ayam Adhishtaya Manascha Ayam Kaha Ayam Jivaha. This Jiva, Kshetrajnaha Jivatma, this Dehendriya Sangata Ishvaraha. We can take that Ishvaraha is Dehendriya Sangata Ishvaraha Swami, who is presiding over this Sharira, is the owner of this Sharira, the trustee of this Sharira Mana Sangata, Ishvaraha Jivatma. Saha Ayam, that's Ayam. Purva Sharirat Indriyani Grihitva, Grihitva carrying this Grihitva, Granati, Purva Sharirat, Sharirantaram Gachati Labate, new Shariram it gains, depending on its karma, whatever karma. So when it gains a new Shariram, Purva Sharirat, then what happens when the Jiva assumes another body? Whatever sense objects he enjoyed, the sense organs in the previous Shariram, that he brings to this new Shariram. What does he carry and what does he enjoy? The sense organs with which what he enjoyed in the previous Shariram, the same sense organs he brings to the new Shariram. And through the new Shariram, there he places all the sense organs in its Golaka, the physical apertures, placing them and then enjoys through them, does action and enjoys karma palam. So Vishayan upasevate, Vishayan bhunte, Shotram, sense organ, Shotram, Shravana Indriya, Chakshuhu, Nayanendriya, Netrendriya, Tata Sparshanam, Tugindriya, Rasanam, Jikhva, Jikhvendriyam, Granam, smell, Nasa, Nasikendriya. And Manaha also you can take Antakaranam, Manaha, Shashtani, Indriyani, all this. So therefore we can bring Panchajnana Indriyani, Karmendriya also. All these things. Sarvani, Indriyani, Adhishtaya. Adhishtaya means Vidaya. Having placed where? In the new Shariram. Having placed, then Tat Indriya Vishayan Upasevate. Upasevate means Upabhunte, enjoys, having placed this in the new Shariram, setting up all of them in the physical body. It is like shifting house, vacating this house and taking a new house. After going to the new house, shifting, then you place all your things in the proper place, your books, etc., in one place. Kitchen, where you place a gas stove, etc. What was there here? The same thing. Now it is kept in the proper place for living. Same thing Jiva also does, fixing every organ to the respective Golaka. So it is just a shifting the house. Therefore, Maranam is shifting the house. Shifting the house, they are going to continue to live. What is going to die? Nothing is going to die. We don't bother about what is left. Old house is gone. Only memories will be left out. The memories are the pain. Shifting is not a problem. That memory, what we carry, that what binds us, that becomes us cause of pain. The memories. We can't live without memory. Memory is one way it is useful, another way it is loss of memory itself is good. Sometimes it is better also. Of course, with the exception of Sanskritam. Otherwise, every time you have to read the same sutra again and again. So therefore, having gone to the new Shariram, it places all the organs, sense organs in the respective Golakam. It is an expression. So for Adhishtaya, Upasevate, then after that, what next shloka? Utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gudhanvitam.
उत्क्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं
Vimudhananupashyanti pashyanti jnana-chakshushah.
मूढानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति
पश्यन्ति
ज्ञानचक्षुषः
ज्ञानचक्षुषः
Utkramantam stitam va. Utkramantam va stitam va api. Utkramantam. Utkramam to kram to go. So utkramati means bagir gachati. Utkramati. Kramantam. Shatranta it is. Utkraman, utkramanto, utkramantaha, utkramantam. So very bunjanam also. Atmanepadi therefore Shanaj. And it is not Adantagana, therefore there is no Anemuk, will not come. So Utkramantam, you can have an equivalent word for that. Gachantam, Bagir Gachantam, you can say. Nishkrantam, otherwise. Degat Nishkrantam. Degam Parityajantam, otherwise. Gives up the Shariram. Or Stitam. Va is Vikalpa. Vikalpartakaha Vakaraha. Va is. Or otherwise Stitam. Utkramantam va, that is whether leaving the body, because the body is no more functional. The body is now, it is Dahana Yogyaha, it is good for burning now, cremating, Dahana Yogyaha. Or the Stitam, or the Jiva is in the body, still functioning, body is in working condition now. Therefore, Stitam va. So Utkramantam va, Sitam va. Therefore, whether the jiva, like similar to Gatasuna, Gatasuna, same idea. Nana Shochanti Panditaha. Here, that is not there. Gatasun, Agatasun. In one from whom the prana has left, and in whom, and in those people in whom the prana has not yet left. That is Titam. Prana is intact. One is prana is, from the Shariam prana is gone. Other one is prana is intact. So therefore, Utkramantam Sitamba. Okay, Sitamba. Tasmin Deke Stitam Tishtantam. And therefore, what does it do? Bunjanam. What does it? Bunjanam. Vishayanupasevanam. As we said in the previous shloka. Vishayanupasevate Bhunkte Upabhunkte. So being the Shariram, therefore, Vishaya Anupasevanam. Vishayanupa Bunjanam. It experiences. Bunjanam. It experiences. That is, Jiva becomes a Bhokta, experiences Sukha, Dukkha, etc. Experiences all the Vishayas, Vishayan, Upasevate. And Gunanvitam, endowed with the Guna, Gunaigi, Gunaigi, Anvitam it is. Gunaigi, Indriyagi, Anvitam. Indriya, Gunaha, Guneshu Vartante. Gunaha, Gunaigi, Vartante. Gunaigi, Indriyagi. You can take Indriyagi. Anvitam, Yuktam Jivatma, Jivatmanam, Gunanvitam Jivatmanam. So Utkaramantam Sdamba, Bunjanamba, Gunanvitam, Gunai Anvitam, Vimudaha, Visheshena Mudaha. Visheshena Mudaha means the B is Visheshena, means in spite of Bhagavan has given that Viveka Shakti, that person doesn't use. That's why Vimudaha. That is Viveka Chakshuhu Hinaha Rahitaha. The person doesn't have this Viveka Chakshu, the Viveka Buddhi, people who do not have this eye of wisdom. That is the third eye. Third eye means it is not something which is located in between the eyebrow. It is this jnanam. Therefore, Vimudaha, they do not anupashyanti. They do not see that Shariram is blessed by Chaitanyam, because of which a Shariram is functional. That they don't see. Anupashyanti. Anupashyanti, Anu, the word is important. Anu means in keeping with the Shastra and the Guru. They don't have Shastram. They don't study Shastram. They don't know what Shastram is. And therefore no Guru also. Guru also not there. Therefore Vimudaha. That way Vimudaha. If Shastram and Guru are there, then at least then they can see with the help of them that Chaitanyam, the presence of Chaitanyam, the body is functioning, becoming functional. Therefore, they don't have na anupashyanti, therefore vimudaha, na anupashyanti, na avalokayanti. Whereas jnana chakshushaha, that is chakshuhu, chakshuhu is eye. Here means eyes means drishtihi. So jnanam chakshuhu drishtihi yesham te. Jnana drishtayaha. Jnana drishti we say. This is what jnana drishti is. Jnana drishti is not seeing something which is happening somewhere else. This is real jnana drishti. That is vivekinaha ityartaha. Te pashyanti. Yatatatye, anubhavanti. What is their yatatmyam? Vasturaha yatatmyam vedanam. Yatatmya vedam tesham asti. Pashyanti. They see the thing as they are. So pashyanti jnana chakshushaha. So therefore it is Atma which is self-evident, which is behind every sense organ and mind, and it is self-evident. It doesn't require any pramana to know, but this vimudaha na pashyanti, because they lack guru and the shastra, they don't have, they go, for them it's only gross things are real, that we deluded. They don't have viveka because of the lack of discrimination and also vishayasakti. Therefore, they do not see, they do not appreciate the Atma. And also added to that, they have raga dvesha, therefore they are in this samsara, into the samsara. Whereas the one who is a viveki, one who has this viveka, vairagya, etc., and also as guru, shastram, that person, pashyanti. Pramana janita jnana chakshushaha te pashyanti. Jnana chakshushaha is, jnanam is generated by the pramanam, by the shastram, and it is taught by the teacher. Therefore, te pashyanti, they see this, they appreciate the fact that Atma is, because of Atma is, the Shariram is. The Shariram is functional. Otherwise, it is just a Jada. So, therefore, te pashyanti, jnana chakshushaha pashyanti. Whereas, vimudaha, they take oneself to be this just a Jada, a body means sense complex. Therefore, they are like Lokayita. So, Gridam krutva Gritam pibet. Basmibhutasya ekasya punah agamanam kutaha. Therefore, kavo pivo maja karo. That they are all vimudaha. Whereas Jnana Chakshusha Pashyanti. That Atmanam, Atma Jiva, that Atma which is there, that Kshetrajnam, they Pashyanti, they see, they have the knowledge of this. Therefore, they are Atma and Atma Viveki. Therefore, Atmanam Pashyanti, Atma behind everything. It is the Adhara Adhisthana of everything. They are not carried over by this Adhyastha, the Sharira, Indriya, therefore, Sharira, Indriya, which are Adhyastha and the Atma. So, Vimudaha, Atasmin Tad Buddhihi Yesham Asti, Yesham, Te Vimudaha. So, they have Anatma Buddhi on Atma. That is mutual Adhyasa. Atasmin Tad Buddhihi, Anatmani Atma Buddhihi, Atmani Anatma Buddhihi, Vimudaha. Yatartha Darshanam Nasti Tesham. Whereas Jnana Chakshushaha enjoy Yatartha Darshanam. Te Pashyanti. Te Anupashyanti, we can say. Anu can be added. Pashyanti, Anupashyanti. Because in keeping with the Shastram and the Guru, then Jnana Chakshushaha Pashyanti. Then the next shloka. Yatanto yoginas chainam pasyantyatmanyavasthitam.
यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं
स्थितश्चैनं पश्यन्त्यात्मन्यवस्थितम्
यतन्तोऽप्यकृतात्मानो नैनं पश्यन्त्यचेतसः.
यतन्तोऽप्यकृतात्मानो नैनं
नैनं
पश्यन्त्यचेतसः.
पश्यन्त्यचेतसः.
So here in this shloka, Bhagavan says that who will have this vision? Those people who have prepared themselves, who have made the necessary preparations, who have made themselves an adhikari, they will understand the teaching of the Shastra, therefore they see. Others, they do not see. Who will enjoy this vision? As said in the previous shloka, Jnana Chakshushaha Pashyanti. Those who have the eye of wisdom, they see. Those who have Jnanam. And this same thing here, it is said, Yatantaha Yoginaha Pashyanti. Yatantaha. Yatantaha, that is Yatanto Yatantaha. Yatantaha Yatadatu Prayatanam. So Yatantaha. So Yatamanaha otherwise. Yatantaha is Yatadatu is Atmanepadi. So Yatanto Yatantaha doesn't exist. But it's okay. Because it is Gita and of course Vyasacharya has got privilege. So you can use Arsha Prayoga, we can take Yatantaha. Yatamanaha iti. Yatantaha. Because Yatadatu is Atmanepadi. Yatate, Yatete, Yatante. Prayatate, and all we say. Yatamanaha it is. I have to check the Bhashya, what Bhashyakara says. Anyway, so maybe Bhashyakara may be saying the same thing. Yatantaha. Bhashyakara says, Prayatnam Kurvataha. That is also Prayatnam Kurvataha. Or we can take Yatamanaha. Same only. Yatamanaha. What Yatamanaha? That is Atmanam Drashtum Yatamanaha. To see Atma, to have the vision of Atma. And Yatamanaha, therefore they work for it. To have the vision of Atma, what is Upaya? What is the means? Shravana Mananam Nididhyasanam. That is Upaya. Shravana Mananadibihi eva Atma Veditavyaha. That is Upaya. And Shravanam of is it possible? That is Shravanam of what? Therefore, it is Shastra. Therefore, Shastroktehi Shravana Mananadibihi Upayehi Atmanam Drashtum Yatamanaha. Prayatnam Kurvataha. Kurvantaha. Prayatnam Kurvantaha. Te Yoginaha. They are the yogis. Therefore, adhikaris. The yogis, adhikaris, therefore they take to karma yoga and then do karma yoga and then again antakarna shuddhi, etc. Therefore, prayetam kurvataha yoginaha karma yoginaha. Yoginaha karma yoginaha. Karma anushthanaya kim sambhavati samskrita manasaha. Mind becomes refined, pure, free from ragadvesha. Therefore, they pashyanti. What pashyanti? Atmani avasthitam. Atmani avasthitam is, that is, Atmani is in the buddhi. In the buddhi which is obtained, avasthitam. That is chaitanyam. Buddhigata chaitanyam. Atmani antakarne. Dehe antakarne avasthitam. Vartamanam. Yenam. Atmanam. Pashyanti. They see. Avalokayanti. They see. They recognize the Atma. Because they have gained adhikaritvam and therefore Shastra Shravanam, Nididhyasam, therefore they recognize Atma in this Atmani, Atmani, Atmanam, Pashyanti. Atmani, Atmanam. Atmani is Antakaranam. In the Antakaranam only Atma is Atmana Upalabdhi Sthanam. Atma is everywhere. The entire Shariram, the world is Atma. But in the Antakaranam, it is obtained in the Antakaranam Upalabdhi Sthanam. Therefore, Atmani avasitam, antakarane avasthitam, then one should not think Atma is conditioned by antakaranam. Atma is conditioned as though, like the pot space. The space is as though enclosed by the pot. It is not real enclosure. It is eva. Similarly, Atmani antakarane avasthitam, Atmanam, Yatantaha yoginaha. Yenam is Atmanam. That is Vidya Bhakti. Yenam Atmanam Pashyanti. That is first line. Second line now it says Yatantaha api. Even though they are Yatantaha, they are Prayatnam Kurvantaha Tatapi. But they are Akritatmanaha. It means the first line is Kritatmanaha. Second line is Akritatmanaha. Achetasaha Avivekis. Therefore, Yenam na Pashyanti. Yatantaha api, even though they work, yatantaha prayatnam kurvantaha, tatapi, yatantaha api, yatamanaha, prayatamanaha api, but they are akritamanaha. So here the emphasis on karma yoga, because mind is not yet become samskrita, not purified. So akritatmanaha means ashuddha chittaha ityataha. Atma is here akritatmaha. In the akritatma, Atma is means antakaranam chitta. It is akrita, not samskrita. Asamskrita. Asamskrita chittaha, ashuddha chittaha. Asamskrita antakaranam. Asamskritam antakaranam yeshamte. Asamskrita karanaha. We can use that word also. Antakaranam. So karma yoga anushtana abhavat. Karma yoga anushtana abhavat. Asamskrita manasaha. Ashuddha chittaha. So therefore, they are not karma yogi. They have not done the homework. Therefore, achetasaha. Achetasaha means alpa buddhayaha. Avivekinaha ityartaha. Te enam atmanam na pashyanti. This Atma they do not see. Even though they are yatantaha. Even though they work, but they don't enjoy this vision. That is, even though Veda is a pramana, they know Veda is a pramana, they do Shravanam, etc., but still they don't enjoy this knowledge. Why? Because the problem is with the person, with the sadhaka. Because of the lack of qualification, that is sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, because of the lack, there is no There is no anubhava, there is no seeing, there is no appreciation of this. So therefore, in the Vashyam Bhashikara says, Akritatmanaha is Asamskritatmanaha Duscharitat Anuparataha Ashanta Darpaha Rentram Kurvataha Api Enam Atmanam Na Pashyanti. The one who has not refrained from Duscharita, bad conduct behavior, they have not yet overcome the limitations, overcome the issues, raga, dvesha, etc. Ashanta darpaha, the darpa has not become shanti, the pride. So therefore, in spite of having listened to the shastram, etc., in fact, they become hetu for the puffing of the pride. The pride of them, it gets more bigger. That is no, the more the vidya, vinaya should come. Instead, vidya vinaya sampanne, as we saw. Instead that, the knowledge leads to more pride, more self-abhimana. Therefore, they do not see yatantaha api. It means there is lack of adhikaritvam. So, adhikarinaha purushaha prayatnam kuruvantaha yoginaha atmane vasitam atmanam pashyanti. Antakarane vasitam atmanam pashyanti. Akritatmanaha yatantaha api na pashyanti. Why? Because achetasaha, they don't have that viveka buddhi. Therefore, they do not see, they do not enjoy this vision. Okay. Then, having said this, previous shloka also and this shloka also. Now, the next shloka. Previously, Bhagavan has said, Tadgatva na nivartante. Having gained, they will not come back. They don't come back. But having gained, having gone, how do they go? They go reaching Paramatma by travel? No, that is only by knowing, by knowledge. Jnanena. As somewhere in Kathoparishad, Bhashikara has said, Aparam chet praptavyam. Param chet jnatavyam. Jnanam is what is going. In the case of Parabhishaya, Param chet. Bhagavan is reached by knowing, not by going. If Bhagavan is reached by going, then it's not Bhagavan. So by knowing, and that therefore, how does a person doesn't come back after going? Because going involves coming. Therefore, here it says there is no really going, it is knowing. Because Atma is the Atma of everything, Sarvatma. So Ishvara is the Sarvatma, it is the self of all, Sarvatma, Pratyekatma, in the presence of whom alone all these Vyavahara, the early transactions are possible. So therefore, from the next shloka, the next four shlokas, Bhagavan is going to show that Sarvatma, that Ishvara in the form of Pratyekatma, Sarvatma, and who is the basis for of all this transaction and glory and vibhuti of the Lord. Like in the 7th chapter and 10th chapter, Bhagavan presented, and here it is going to be presented briefly. That is shloka number 12. Let us read. Yadadityagatam tejo jagadbhasayate khilam.
यदा
यदादित्यगतं तेजो
यगतं तेजो
जगद्भासयतेऽखिलम्
जगद्भासयतेऽखिलम्
यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चाग्नौ तत्तेजो विद्धि मामकम्.
यच्छन्द्रमसि
यच्चन्द्रमसि
यच्चाग्नौ
यच्चाग्नौ
तेजो
यच्चाग्नो
विद्धि
विद्धि
मामकम्
तत्तेजो
मामकम्
विद्धि मामकम्.
If you remember the 7th chapter, we saw Rasoham Apsukaunteya, like that. And also in the 10th chapter, Vibhuti was present to Vibhuti Yoga. And here it is, Bhagavan, the same. The Vibhuti By what is the idea behind this? That is, Bhagavan is alone in the form of everything, the Sarvatma. When Rudram also we chant as Ishvara as everything, Sarvatma Bhava. So Namaha Namaha iti in Rudram, we offer Namaskara to everything. It means everything is Ishvara, Sarvatma Bhava. So this Jivaha is Paramatma, Jagat is Paramatma, everything is Paramatma, Ishvaraha eva. Paramatma alone is the mama of everything, this creation. So Sarvamatma iti Bhavaha, that Jnanam, Sarvatma Bhavaha. And here Bhagavan, here first he takes the sun, taking his own, that beautiful creation, the sun. And sun, of course, it is the one which sustains the life in the earth, therefore how important it is. Therefore here he takes that sun as its the vibhuti and presents its Sarvatma Bhava. Yadaditya, Aditya Gatam, Adityaha, Adityaha Suryaha. Yada Aditya Gatam is Tatra Gatam Praptam Stitam Yahat Yat Tejaha, the Tejaha Jyotihi. Suryaha is Jyotihi, Prakashaha, Surya Prakashaha. And that Prakasha Bhasayati, what Akilam, Sakalam Jagat Bhasayati, Vishwam Bhasayati, Bhasayate. So the sunlight, the sun, which illumines the entire world. Adityagatam Tejaha, Akilam Jagat Bhasayate. That Tejaha, that brilliance, the shine which is obtained in the sun. Adityagatam, Praptam. Illumines the entire Jagat, Akilam Jagat Bhasayate, Prakashayati. Similarly, Chandramasi. You have to supply this Chandramasi also, Chandramasi in Chandramati, Chandra also, in moon also. Chandre Gatam Praptam Sitam, that Tejaha, Yet Tejaha, Tejaha Napumsakalinga, therefore Yet Tejaha Chandre Praptam Sitam. Similarly, Agnavapi, in the Agni, in the fire also. Yet Tejaha Agnav Praptam. Yet Tejaha Surye Praptam. Jyotihi, that Prakashaha, Sakalam Jagat Bhasayate, Yat Tejaha Chandre Stitam Praptam, Tadvat Agnavapi. Yat Tejaha Stitam Praptam, Tat Tejaha, that Jyotihi, Bhagavan says, Tat Tejaha Mamakam Viddhi. It is mine, Mamakinam Viddhi, Mamakam Janihi, may you know that is belongs to me. The effulgence in the sun, the effulgence yat tejaha, that is effulgence which is obtained in the sense that is Atma, that is me. That is why Tatsavitur Varenyam Bargo Devascha Dhimahi. Tatsavitur. Savituhu is given, Savitra is given so much importance because it is the one because of which the entire Jagat is, the world is sustained. So therefore, similarly, next one is moon. So sun and moon are important. Then comes the fire. Therefore, the tejas, the light, the shine, which is obtained. The sun shines, the illumines the entire Jagat. But what illumines the sun? That tejaha, that Atma is me. Mamakam is mine. Madhyam. Madhyam means it is me. It is not that it belongs to me. It is me alone. That Atma is me alone. So, having taken sun and similarly with other created things also, everything. Sun shines, it illumines the world. Therefore, the sun is Sarva Avabhasakaha, capable of illuminating other objects with the brilliance. But what makes the shine also shine? It is similar to Tasya Bhasa Sarvavidam Vibhati. The same idea. presented as the vibhuti, the glory of Ishvara. Tat tejaha mamakam vidhi. May you know that to be me. That is why in Sandhya Vandanam we have this Surya Upasana. In the form of Upasana it is done, but it is Jnanam actually. Leads to Jnanam finally. Tat savituhu varenyam asmakam bhargaha diyaha prachodayatiti. So that light, the tejas in the moon, in the sun, in the sun and the moon, in the fire, it belongs to Ishvara, it belongs to Bhagavan alone. So it is Ishvarasya. Ishvarasya tejaha, Ishvarasya jyotihi. Jyotisham jyotihi, that is the idea. So Jyotisham jyotihi, that which is the light of all the lights. The ultimate light in the world, the Jagat, what is obtained is sunlight. And that Jyotisham api jyotihi, that is Atma Jyotihi. That Atma Jyotihi is I am that. Iti. The next shloka that we will see in the next class. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyai Stavaihi Vedai Sangha Padhakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tatgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Navidusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Dhanyavadaha.
धन्यवादः जी।
धन्यवाद
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ.
Dhanyavadaha.